we covered this literally, I think 2 days ago with the Roddy that came in.
Lucy too.
Lucy, everybody, this is what we do. The dog pulls, 30 seconds later they're not pulling. It's because we teach them as soon as it gets tight, they get a correction on the e-collar, so don't let the leash get tight. That's it's something they come to the conclusion on their own. I don't have to sit here and battle of the wills it with them and try to say, don't do this because I said so. Just say, go ahead, pull if you want, but this is what happens when you pull. That's kind of our approach around here. We let them, you know, stumble across, make them feel like it was their idea. Okay. Good boy. I'm on an 8 actually. Right, come on.
He's beautiful.
He is. Good. 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 I really believe that those first experiences are really, really important. So I want to make sure that once he feels that correction, and he starts headed towards me, I'm here for him. That's the trust part, you know, that I'm here, and we spend a few seconds doing this. As awkward as it is, he's facing out like he doesn't. This isn't the most average way of saying hi, but he doesn't know me either, but he's finding comfort in me, and I want him to find comfort in me if I can. I'm not forcing it, but I'm letting it happen naturally, and I'm seeing the opportunities, and I'm taking the opportunities. But guys, I'm also, as the trainer, I'm also creating these opportunities for myself. You know, there was a 90% chance I knew in my head that this is how this would end up going, you know? Good boy. So, yes, there's a little bit of stress when a dog's dropped off somewhere that they don't know where they are, they don't know the people. Some dogs are stressed as soon as they get dropped off. I think in a couple days this guy's gonna feel pretty good. Good, no e-collar that time. Good boy. I wanna pick my moments so that I wanna use the moments that are most clear to him. I'm not just looking at, well, I need to get 200 reps. I'm looking at the moments that are going to make sense, all right? I'm looking for memorable moments, for certain experiences to change the way he perceives the world around him. I'm not concerned about, that's rep number 5, we got 20 more to go in this session. I'm picking and choosing. I'm looking through the lens of a behavioralist rather than, you know, a paid by the hour trainer who's like, you know, you got to go get 100 reps on this and then wash your hands and go do another dog and get 100 reps. We're not thinking like that. We're thinking like behavioralists. We're thinking, how does the dog feel about it? How do I need him to feel about it? How can I change that perception? That's how we're always going to be thinking. Good. Smart dogs, as they usually are. What I'm teaching him is if you feel this pressure, that's me talking to you. And when I'm talking about pressure, leash pressure right now. And so you can see I slightly engaged the leash and he started to turn at me and come towards me, and I released the leash and I kind of gave him a little bit of encouragement by bending down like this. No e-collar was applied. Now, if we had that moment of opposition where he lets that get tight and then he kind of ignores me or looks at me and says, no, I'm not going in that direction, then the e-collar will turn on low and I'll dial up until he feels the sensation at a level where he says, okay, uncle, and he takes a step forward, then it goes away. We reset that pattern right after that. We go way down to low numbers, something he barely feels or doesn't feel, and work our way up. So he always gets a chance to think and to try and to participate. And what he notices after a couple reps is if you're thinking, trying, and participating, nobody's correcting you. That's only when you're being, you know, bratty. You're trying to throw a temper tantrum. You're disconnecting. You're not listening. Well, that's what we do, guys. That's called parenting, right? But if he's trying, I'm just here helping. Okay, so he's starting to. That's why the dogs look like they're trying so early. It's because right now I'm not concerned about a command. I'm concerned about creating a dog who wants to learn from me, who wants to follow. Okay. So watch the leash. This is how I talk to him right now. We don't know commands yet, you know. So he learns to listen to me through just the old leash. You know how old this is? The old rope around the neck or around the muzzle. We've been guiding animals like this for thousands of years. I don't even know how long. I'd have to look into that. Long, way longer than me or you have been around. So I want to teach him to the point where I can move him with 2 fingers. I can take these 2 fingers and I can say, good. And the reason why it feels, good boy. The reason why it feels easy is because he's being compliant. I don't feel all of his weight tugging against me. So it doesn't feel like there's this heavy ball and chain that I'm being dragged around or that I'm trying to drag around. I do this and it's like me putting a little gas on the car pedal, right? It starts going forward as long as the car's working right. If the car's not working right, it's not gonna go anywhere. So I go like this. There's the conversation, okay? That right there. Good. I did not use the e-collar. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. This is a fantastic way to start building trust with a dog. And respect simultaneously, okay? So it's not like we're just gonna get trust and then he's gonna misuse us and we're gonna be in a bad relationship, right? We're gonna build trust and respect simultaneously so that he does trust us, but he also treats us appropriately because he respects what we say. So we got our dog being somewhat respectful to the leash. It's not completely there. We've only been out here for a few minutes, but I'm gonna start teaching him to follow me and to not be ahead. And the way that I'm gonna do that is the idea is that we're attached and at any minute I could turn around and go into the opposite direction. And if you don't see me going in the opposite direction, that means this is gonna get tight on your neck because I'm headed that way and you're headed that way. If that gets tight and you don't turn and come with me, correction. So then the dog says, oh, after a few of those, which you'll see, the dog says, oh my God. Randomly, this guy starts heading in the opposite direction and then I get corrected because he knows that once this gets tight, the e-collar is gonna turn on. I better pay attention to this guy and where he's going. But how can I do that if I can't see him? So naturally, because I'm not saying anything and because he can't see me, he starts hanging around me so that he can keep an eye on where I am going. And now that's creating a dog who's concerned about where we're going, which is what we're talking about when we say
guys,
follow.
here we go. As soon as he can't see me anymore, remember I'm sneaking away. That's the whole trick of this, is sneaking away so that he's like, no, you're not sneaking away from me. I'm watching where you're going. And they naturally put themselves somewhere, it's like right there, boom. I tapped on the e-collar and did a turn. Okay? He's gonna start, if he turns with me, I give him a second. If he turns as soon as he feels that leash, I'm not giving him e-collar at this point. I want him to learn that if you're paying attention to me, everything's well. Some opposition right there. I correct that with a little tap and pop. Those moments of, I'm not going with you, we just correct them and keep walking. I can literally do this if I'm not on the camera. I just walk and just do it. This is it. That was a correction right there. Watch what he's gonna learn here. Opposition, I correct that. Correct any of those moments. You can feel it on the leash. What's gonna happen, he's either going to figure it out and everything's gonna be fine, or he's gonna get frustrated first, throw a little fit, and then figure it out. And that's pretty much how it always goes. Good boy. Good boy. Figuring out what I tell you. Right? I haven't taught him heel. I just said when you can't see me, I'm gonna sneak away. And if you're not paying attention, leash gets tight and then you get corrected. He says, I better pay attention. Even right here. So we've only been walking for, what, 2 minutes? Anytime I feel that leash get tight, I give it a little tension and I tap if he doesn't alleviate it. Right here, opposition. Pressure is going to be on, it's going to dial up, and then it dials down. Those moments of, I don't want to do this anymore, good boy. They start going away, like you won't see it tomorrow, you know what I mean? If he starts flossing with the leash, start putting it in his mouth, and then we'll deal with that too, because we don't want him chewing on the leash. Good boy. Good boy. Everything we do is going to be on the left side, so I start right from the beginning, making sure that they just kind of stick towards that left side. Good boy. Good boy. Nice. Let's go. Yeah, it's very rare that a dog is unpredictable. Very rare. There's different temperaments, different types of dogs.
And when you kind of know what you're getting into, you can kind of predict them for the most part. I call it staying ahead of them. You want to stay ahead of them every moment that you can. And if you start getting behind the dog and they're actually running the show, that's when you're in trouble. Stay ahead of the dog. Be one step ahead of them. Know what they're going to do next and know what you're going to do next. Good boy. This is it. This is what we do. We're not in the company of going like this and teaching heel with a 2-inch leash and just keeping them there. We're into find out where to go when you feel that e-collar pressure. It creates an off-leash dog from the beginning, right? Therefore, your leash, walking with a leash becomes ridiculously easy, almost like you don't even need that leash. And that's because we're not relying on keeping our dog there through pops or through holding them there. We're using 100% pressure on, pressure off. Pressure turns off every single time when you're right in that position, okay? So they learn where to go in their heads. They don't need me to take this leash and hold them here, right? Good. They also learn to follow my leg, like that left leg awareness that we talk about, right? We're starting to create that with that. I swing my foot. He follows, good boy. He follows that leg. We're starting to create that early on too. So everybody knows the position. Good boy.
Frick.
Good boy. Nice work. I do a lot of physical affection if I can, like calm. Because, you know, I think it's important that you don't skip when it's appropriate on the affection or the reward. You just have to know how to give it, okay? If you give affection and it throws everything to shit and the dog's mind goes crazy, then you got to work on that. They need to be able to take it calm. I'll show you what I just did there. You see me doing it a lot probably in videos. I know Julie sees me doing it a lot. I'll take a sit back like this, a good few feet from the dog like I did. And if he comes in towards my space, then that tells me that he's accepting my invitation. You know what I mean? For me to be part of his pack, or him to be part of my pack. It's testing consent. If I'm unsure with a dog, especially a biting dog, and I don't know if they want me to be touching them, you know, I'll take a couple steps back and I'll get down low. And you're putting yourself at risk when you're low, especially with a dangerous dog. So be careful. But if you're with a dog who's not dangerous, you don't have to worry about it so much. But you can really see what if the dog's interested in that relationship or not. And 99% of the time when I do this, boom, the dog's here. And this little moment here, and then I show some affection, and then we get up and we move on. I think this kind of seals the deal, as it's almost like agreeing. We're like signing on a document like, okay, we're going to be a team. Okay, we're going to be a team. Doesn't mean we're not going to see at odds again. You know, a couple days down the road, you can be like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I'm like, well, right? Sorry, but you got to double down, right? This is just the beginning of a healthy relationship, okay? So it's a much different kind of loving or affection I'm giving him right now. It's because there's respect in it, you know? And he's still uncertain, but I'm now becoming a source of comfort. He doesn't know anybody here. It's a new place. He's being put through training. I stop halfway through. He's doing well. I say, hey, I give him some support. I say, hey, you're doing a good job. Now I'm a source of comfort, but I'm also a source of discipline and guidance and all these things in one. I become the parent, the leader, the authority figure. I become an important part of his life, and then that relationship, what I create, is what we're going to then send home with the owners. We're going to teach them how to develop it so that he can live the best life he could possibly live. And right now he's learning how to follow, which is really good. And he's learning how to think before he acts too, which is really important, right? Let's go. Now let's see what he remembers. Good boy. As soon as he feels that leash, he's reacting to it, which is great. He says, oh yeah. As soon as he kind of feels that get tight, I'm not hitting the e-collar there. And this is, I didn't teach him heel, so I don't expect him to lock in. But look at the thought. Look how he's feeling that leash, barely feeling it, guys. I wish I could have you feel how gentle he bumps in to the leash and then respects it. And it happened like in minutes. And then from here, what we get is we teach him what exactly to do by teaching the heel command, and then we see confidence because he says, oh, I know exactly what to do. I'm in control too, because I get to control whether or not I'm breaking the rules once I understand them. And if I don't break the rules, then we're all good. You know? And then the dog's confident about the program, and you see a little trap. He's being respectful, good boy. And I show my appreciation. Okay, so I'm thinking, the reason I use these words, I'm showing my appreciation, I just said. I didn't say I'm marking him with a good and rewarding, giving him a reward. Because I think if you say I'm showing my appreciation, yes, you're giving him a reward, but it has a personal element to it. You're a team, you're a family, you're a leader. And when I'm with a dog, you know, I connect myself, I give a part of myself while they're here so that they're part of my family. So I'm not just thinking, you know, mark it with a good and then give the dog a treat and then move on. I'm thinking, show them your appreciation. Show them that they did a good job, you know? It's a little bit of a different feeling for the dog rather than like, click, food, right? Click, food. That's fun because they're being fed and they're hungry, but it's not a personal relationship. All you are is a dispenser of good stuff rather than you being the good stuff. Just you ever be around somebody, even a dog or a person, where the reward, your best friend, for example, or your significant other, the reward is literally just being around them. It's like, I don't care what we do together. As long as we're together, it's fun. You know what I mean? That's the kind of reward I want to be using. I want to be using us doing something together is already enough for you. You don't need me to go get liver treats. If that's the case, then that's like the friend that only hangs out with you when you're going to do something fun. And then as soon as it's a boring day, they want nothing to do with you. You can feel that with dogs too. And he's definitely one of those guys. Like, I could tell if I started using food with him for the reward, he'd be that guy that'd be around as long as there was food. But as soon as I wasn't cool because I didn't have chicken liver, he's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Josh is lame. He used to be cool when he had chicken liver. So what we're doing is the reward is the bond between a man and his dog, or a woman and their dog. And the dogs like that too, if you do it right. Break. So everybody knows I'm not trying to put down using treats. We definitely use them. I just want everyone to know that there's a time and a place for that, and that's not what I'm looking to do right now, is to use that type of training. I'm looking for a bond between me and him. Do you see how he's following me now? This is pretty great. You know, we haven't done any command training, but we just have a relationship started. That's all. Now let's go. He laid down, okay? I'm going to ask him to come with me by putting the gentlest amount of leash guidance, and I want to see his response versus the one over there. Okay? Good. Barely touched it. Good boy. So that's so important right there, that he did not make me fight. He didn't fight me. He just said, okay, I'm coming. Versus just a few minutes ago, he said, no, I'm not coming. I picked that experience. I gave him the proper outcome so that he thinks of it differently, and this is it. It did not take, like I said, 100 or 200 reps. It took the right one with a memorable experience that was clearly communicated. That's way more important than just thinking, how many reps can I get in? And I'm not against reps. I think reps are really important. Go and do as many as you can, but also if you're thinking about working with a dog, you need to think about memorable, clear experiences, okay? So his last experience, when that started to get tight and he resisted, I corrected. This one, he came with me immediately, no correction, only affection. And now he says, oh, well, obviously I know which one to choose, because most dogs will take the path of least resistance if they know it's available.